Hello my crafty friends, and thank you for joining me here on my YouTube channel Corrine Crafts. I hope everyone is well and you're having fun making some beautiful crafty projects. Don't forget my monthly makers challenge. I hope you're all having a go at making some projects in those gorgeous pinks and grey tones. Here is my makes for today. This is all about making one background. You can see I've made one background, cut out the center, flipped it over, and we've made two very different projects using the same background. This card is 1/8 of an inch smaller than this one because I added in this extra bit just here, but otherwise it all follows the same. I think it's really lovely to do. Made this background. We're going to do some ink blending, a little bit of spritzing to do a bit of faux bleaching, and then we'll do some stamping and heat embossing. We'll even colour the gems to match and then just colour in. I hope you like it. I love this because it's almost like a moon, and that's like darker where it's shadow, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. I hope you like these. Let's see how they're made. Let's see then how we make this card. So what we're going to do is we're going to create one background. This is it, my watercolour card, 5x7. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some colour on the back, and then we're going to make two projects from this one background. Now I'm going to cut it out with a circle die that I've got just here. You could cut it out with any size, but I hope this just sort of gives you a little bit of a clue of how to use your background. So yeah, so this is going to be so much fun. So what I've got, like I said, 7x5, and I've got some inks. You could be using any inks, but I wouldn't use a pigment ink for this because otherwise your embossing powder, when we put it on, is going to stick to it. So what we need to do first then is we need to make our background, and I'm going to pop it on here. So I've got all my inks, so I'm going to just lay down some colour to begin with. So I've got a cloth here because I will need to just keep changing my brush. So I'm going to start with a little bit of Sandstorm. You probably won't see much of this when it's finished, but I just wanted to start with something quite pale. So lay down the first colour. Okay, so that's probably as much as that as I'll need. Then I'm going to come in with some honey pot, some nice orange. I haven't even bothered cleaning my blending brush, and I'm going to come down like this. So this is just about sort of pacing it out. Is that a good way of describing it? I think just pacing out the colour areas, so we can put that on there. Then I'm going to go in with my fuchsia. We'll get my pink dauber or red, or whichever one I'm using. I do clean them regularly. Pop some pink on there, and then we're going to come in with the pink next, whichever way works for you. If you're left-handed, right-handed, you blend whichever way works for you. I'm using my Time for Tea blending brushes as always because look at that, cloud free. And then we're going to go in with some damson wine. On there. I tried crushed velvet, but it wasn't the right sort of purple. It didn't blend as well. I didn't like it. So I'm going to take that down to the bottom, and then right, so there you can see I've sectioned it out, and now it's about blending it out. So let's just bring in a bit more purple. There we go, like that. Now, tip for you, if your purple's not dark enough, you could underlay it with a bit of grey, but I've got a little bit of midnight, and I'm just going to pop that now. At first it looks a little bit too blue, but I'm just going backwards and forwards with that. I just want a band at the bottom. That's as much blue as I'm having. Let's then come back in with my purple. See, straight away it's purple again. But when I go over that blue with my purple, can you see how I've created a really opulent and intense purple? You see, you can't even see the colour change. You just know that that purple is a little bit stronger. I'm going to come back in. This is the thing about blending, is when you're doing something as strong as this, you might have to go in a few times. So remember, it's watercolour card, so it'll take the ink, no problem. And I'm going over the pink and the purple, so I'm really trying to blend those two colours together. You see how easy it is with these brushes. There we go. Oh, I could get achy arm doing this. Down on here, bring it right, go right over that purple. We want to get rid of as much of that blend as possible. Now, obviously, the pink is a stronger colour, so I need to Oh, sorry, need to blend it out with the yellow or the honey pot. And look at that, I've created a nice new colour over here, look. Hope you're seeing that. Trying to make sure it stays in. And then I want to just sort of come back to honey pot, bring it up here. And then what I will do, while I've got honey pot on there, a little bit of sandstorm, and then drag that just, you can almost see it just blends in with that honey pot, doesn't it? And that is my background. Isn't that beautiful? Really, really lovely. What we're going to do, pop that there, and I'm just, normally I'd spray into my hand. I don't want that. I want a really, really fine mist. So I've got a water bottle and I'm just going to spray it over. Just really fine droplets. Oh, that's handy having a bit of water on there. It'll clean that up while that's doing. Now, the longer you leave the water on, the more it's going to bleach that colour. So if you want it really, really fine, blot it nice and quickly. You can go in with a piece of paper towel, but you know me, I've got my cloth. I'm not rubbing, I'm just sort of patting, and just, there we go. Just adds a little bit of interest. I'm going to quickly just make sure it's dry. There was hardly any water on that, so it didn't take much, and it's not bent or anything, the cardstock. So I'm going to take my circle and I'm going to work out where roughly or exactly I want it to go. So a bit bigger border at the top than I can. I don't want it to come up here to have the matching ones, because I would quite like to really get a nice range of colours, because remember I'm going to use this one as well. And then I'm going to just pop a piece of tape on. There's no waste, so I can't say, oh, put your tape on the waist like I normally do. So I'm going to just quickly do this in my midi, just so that I'm not off camera with that, so I can pop that through there. Just a quick die cut. That's going through, so let's bring it back. There we are. That was quick. Ooh, no, it's not back. There, it's back now. Oh, get that out there. That's all the die cutting done. There won't be any more die cutting needed for this. And then, there we are. I've now got 2 usable pieces, which I love. So the next thing I want to do is I want to put these onto some cards. So what I've done is I've cut one piece of card 5 by 7. So if I put that like that, you can see exactly the same size as that. So I'm not going to put that under there. I'm going to use that one under there. And then this one I've cut to 1/8 of an inch bigger. So you can see it shows. Now you could just have the white showing in the middle, so then you could have it cut any size, but I wanted it to be like that. So I'm going to pop these onto here. So I'm just going to, I think, tape runner again, for the simple reason is I don't want to, well, I'm going to do tape runner around the outside, and then I could do a little bit of wet glue in the centre. I just don't want to risk any adhesive coming out, because it's going to hamper what I want to do. So we can then pop, so I want to lift that from here. What you could do actually to get it to be exact is put that one over there and then fit this back in. There we go, like that. Lift that up, and then you know, but you don't, I mean, I assume you're going to give this project to one person, this project to another, so nobody's going to know they came from the same background, are they? So I'm going to come round the edge on here with my dotty tape pen again, because this is where my stamping's going to be, and then I can use my wet glue, which is that little bit stronger in my opinion, all the way around there, because there's no stamping round that bit, and it also makes sure it grips on. So we can do that and put that through there. Now if you're struggling to get it down, I'm going to go, obviously you see me with my pressure tool, just to make sure all of that glue is spread out. You could run it back through your die cutting machine, that would work equally as well. Just pressing it down, because I need to know it's tightly adhered on there. Right, so the next thing I want to do, I'm just going to make sure there's no bits on there. And the next thing, so you see we worked side by side with these. I'm going to get my anti-static bag. Now I know these are water reactive inks that I've used. So there should be nothing to grip for the embossing powder to grip to. But I wanted just belt and braces. I wanted to make sure that my embossing powder just brushes it off. So all I've done, anti-static bag all over there like that. So the next thing I need is my stamping platform. And which one should we do first? I think I'll do this one first. I'll move this out of the way, being careful not to get my greasy fingers all over it. So I'm going to pop this into my stamping platform, and we're going to just put a nice grip on there. So let's so Stamps by Me, you know I love my Stamps by Me. This is a lamination one. So I'm going to get the tulip. I'm not going to do it as a lamination. I just wanted this. And I'm going to pop the tulip on here. So it's part on the background, part on the white. Then I'm going to get a sentiment. And I'm going to pop that now. I might need to move that. So I'm going to pop that on first. And then I'm going to put this one hugging round like that, because I want to make sure I want that to be on there. Now it's harder, you've got two different levels here, so it is harder to get the stamp on this bit. So this is why I've captured this inside here, because I don't want to make life any harder for myself than it already is. So I wanted to make sure that fully stays on the white. I will have to do a little bit of extra work just here, so you can see. Let's pick that up. I'm going to start it with my gold ink. Now my gold pigment ink is definitely on its way out. So I'm going to have to go looking for a new gold pigment ink, I think. Something nice and juicy. Yeah, that doesn't look very strong at all. Never mind. We can get there. So I will have to do a few layers. I'm going to show you this one, and then I'll probably cut the video until I've got all my layers on, just because I think I'll have to do a few, because look, you can see, yeah, that's really failed. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to go in with my bronze, because that's more. Okay, I'll come back when it's all inked up. Okay, so I think I've got a good enough image. I will show you a top tip I just sort of came up with. It really was struggling to do that because of that dip. So what I've just done is I've just put a circle, can you see, of card exactly underneath there to effectively raise that up, and hopefully it worked a treat, and it will work really well. So I can pop that on here. I hadn't got a gold embossing powder because I thought gold on top of the gold looked nice, but I've got this one. This is so old. My crafty products, some of them are so old. So it's just a nice sparkly one. Pop that on there. Now can you see, because I did the anti-static bag, the only place, that's not the brush I was looking for, the only place that I've got a little bit of glitter is just down here, and it's not stuck, it just needs a little bit of a brush off. Can you see on there? So tap, and that's like that. Now you can leave that as long as you want, it's not going to come to any harm. So I'm going to pop that to there, and I'm going to bring in the other one, and we can heat emboss them both together. So bearing in mind that one struggled, what I'm going to do is, I'll show you from the start. Let's take that, let's lift that off. Oh, I'm going to have to clean that in a minute. Look. And what I'm going to do is, so the piece that I cut out for the other one was there. So I've got this one here now, and I made sure that I put the circle in the same place. I'm going to pop this over the top, and I can see now that they're lined up. Let me just see. I've got a little bit of light behind. Right, that's lined them both up perfectly. I know there's a bit of brown showing, but it's lined up the circle. So hopefully that will now drop down into the recess if it's worked right, and it will be effectively like stamping over smooth. So I've just raised it. So again, another Stamps by Me stamp. This was Hello Friend, Friend Forever, but it had this gorgeous element. And I'm going to put that there, but again I'm going to work a bit like backwards. I'm going to put my sentiment on there, and then I'm going to just adjust that to fit. There we go. So we're going to do exactly the same. Oops, too much stuff on my desk. I think I need a desk the size of, I don't know, very large desk. So then I'm going to go straight in with the bronze, because we know the gold's just not having it today. Let's tap onto there. The first one won't show up too much at all, and I'm only because even though I'm using a coloured embossing powder, I like to use a coloured ink underneath because it just adds strength to it. I sometimes find that a clear ink with a coloured embossing powder just doesn't have the strength that I want. So we can pop that. So it's getting there, but it's going to need a few coats again. So bear with me and I'll be right back in a minute. So I think this one will do on here. So very different design from before, and then look at that. Hopefully you can see that because obviously it's only ink at the moment. So let's lift that one out. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? Really delicate, beautiful stamp. Pop that over there and then bring in my card, my scrappy bit of card. Bring in my embossing powder. Let's sprinkle all over. I do like to do heat embossing with colouring. It's just like bumper bars. It just makes colouring so easy. And again, look at that. My embossing powder has only stuck where I want it to do. Can you see? It looks beautiful, doesn't it? So let's get rid of that. Always get rid of that to begin with. And then I can bring in the two images. So I'm going to start heat embossing. I might stop talking and then just speed it up, but so that you can see. How about that? There we go. So that has just heat embossed that. Now, when I did my test ones, whoops, just dropped my heat gun, never mind. When I did my test ones, my daughter came home, it was tea time, so I put them inside a book, put a weight on top and left them like that. But you know, it's up to you. They will flatten back out. Lovely. So then it's about colouring. So I have got 3 colours. I'm going to bring in that same scrap of paper that I've been using all along. I'm going to start on this one. So let's have a go. So I'm going to get some coral blend. I'm going to start with my mid-tone of my coral. Did I want my palest? Oh, I'll start with the palest first. And I'm just going to colour down here. So this is a colouring card. It's not Nina that I always used to use. It's a new one that I've come across. Well, one that I found in my crafty stash when I was having a tidy out in the last couple of months. So yeah, so I'm just using this, and it blends alcohol pens. Absolutely gorgeous. So just again laying down the colours just so that I can see. Then I'm going to go in with the magenta blend. I'm going to go in with this one. So again, I think I just wanted the middle one, and I'm just going to pop that over the top. So at the moment I'm just sort of putting down my colours. Let's go in with did I go as dark? I did, didn't I? Oh, that is nice and dark. So we can put that one on here. And then I'm just going to come in with a little bit of purple at the bottom. So I've basically, can you see, I've followed my colours through there. And then it's just about blending them. And I found that as long as I just did nice little round colouring, then it blends beautifully. So blending one colour into the next. Once I've laid down the colour, I'm going back in. And I know we always try and, you blend in the same colour, but you can blend in similar colours without any problem whatsoever. So just about saturating that card and laying down enough colour, and it does blend beautifully. Just takes time. Just don't be afraid to invest that time in getting the perfect colour blend, and then it will work gorgeous. So just coming down here with the purple, just over there, just laying it over the top. There we go. I can see a bit of a colour difference here. So what I'm going to do is come in with my mid-tone, just blend over there. That's better. And then I can just bring this one up here. And remember, alcohol pens need to dry, but once that's dry, that's going to be a lovely transition. What I do need to do though is do the darker bits just here. So that's a little bit darker with just a colour, little bit of colour at the bottom. There we go. So do this one as well. And then on these ones, very, very simple. All I'm going to do, same colours. I'm going to come round the tops. So I'm going to do the point in the coral. You can't really see it on that bit, but we can do it as soon as I bring it down here. Just go all over all of the points. This paper takes the colours beautifully. Even though you can hardly see it, I'm going to lay it down just so that I can say that I have. Lay it down there, and I can even just do a little bit of colour on those little tiny ones. On the point, remember, it's the point that's the colour. There we go, just like that. I'll do the rest in a minute. And then my next colour, I'm just going to go with a paler pink. Let's come down here with the pink. You can add a little bit more intensity if you want, so it starts to pick up on here. You can see it starting to pick up, but don't worry if you can't, because it'll sort of come through everything else. Just a little bit of the pink. And we remember, I'm going to go back in and blend in a minute, and then I'm going to go in with my purple. That's far too pale. Let's come on here with that one, you see, and then you can see why I persevered, because you can definitely see it when you get to the purple. Just like that. And just like that. Again, just laying down that colour. And then once you've laid down the colour, I might even just on here come in with the darker one. Oh, I missed one out there. Just there. And actually, I think I might go even in with the darker pink on those. Just start to blend that. Now remember, when I'm colouring here, I'm colouring on watercolour card. So don't expect it to blend like it would on your regular card, because it's not. It's watercolour card. So I'm going to blend over those. Hopefully I haven't left it too long. Blend over those. Oh, they're blending lovely. Blend, and again on here. All over there, just making that ink work. And then we can come in with this one, and look at that. It just blends, doesn't it? You can just see, it's like magic. You just shifting that colour, making that colour move, and just blending it in. There we go. All the way round there. And if you need to, with this one, you can always come over with your darker colour. But it's almost like in shadow, isn't it? They look lovely. Really nice. Don't forget those, like I say, to do over there. There we go. There we go. So that is what I would do for all of those and all of those. And then when they've finished, I'm going to end up with that for that one and that for that one. And you'll see the only other thing I've done is added a few gems. Now, I couldn't find gems in the right colour. So again, I took my cream gems or ivory, and then I find this much better with a brush alcohol pen. All I do is I colour over the gem. You see that's not dark enough. Over there, make sure you go right down to the bottom. That's that one. And then is that one dark enough, or do I need, well, that one sorts of works, making sure the colour goes down. But you need to just leave them to dry. Just give them a few minutes to dry. And once those have dried, then you can bring in your piece, grab yourself a pair of tweezers, and then all you need to do, these ones are nice and dry because I did them last night, is then add in your little gems, because you've now got gems. Oops, an upside down gem. There we go. We've now got gems. That one does not want to come on the work. Let me go, it says. Pop. That one lost its glue. I think it might have done. I'm going to have to put a little blob of glue on for that one. Lost its glue. So even though adhesive gems, lots of people still glue adhesive gems down. Wow, this one is jumpy. This one is jumpy. Wonder if it's got static or something. There we go. Put that there. And again, I've got the different sizes that I have prepared. And I'll just leave them on here. And then next time I want pink, then I have got those too. So you can just pop them on like that. Let me get that another small one. That's the one I did a few minutes ago. And you see it's already dry. So you can just pop those on until you've got that. And then I put my gems on till I've got that. So look at that. So far, we've got the basis of 2 cards from one background. And then all I'm going to do is, this one's going to go, have I got these the right way around? I haven't got these the right way around, have I? That one goes on that side. That one goes on here. Right, because remember, this one is 1/8 of an inch bigger than that one. So I've got different ones, but I've followed exactly the same colourway. Purple linen, gold, and my card base. So this card here is 1/8 of an inch smaller than the other card, all the way through, all the layers. So it's just worth remembering when you cut them that this one needs, if you want the mats and layer difference to be the same, you've just got to go down 1/8 of an inch. So white onto purple, not wonky would be good. And straight. I just move that. And I need a cloth because I've just got glue on. The glue rubs off. Right, should we try again to get it straight? There we go, much better. Foam tape on the back. Some people like to, and I do advocate it quite a lot, is to put all your mats and layers on to your card base before you put your top layer on, because then if anything goes wrong, you've not wasted it all. Yeah, I've done that before now when I've tried to do mats and layers and gone wrong when they're all stuck together, and you just think, oh, I've just wasted all of those mats and layers. And remember, at all points you can take out the centre of your cards if you want to as well. I got quite a lot of gold, so I wasn't too concerned with this. Put that on there. Make sure I've got my card base the right way up. Very different looks. So this one's much more of your clean and simple. But isn't that pretty? Isn't that so pretty? And then this one, let's show it this way, which is the way I would probably advocate doing it. Build up from the bottom. So gold layer first. Because the great thing is I put some foam tape on, and you can lift it then. You can still put your pressure on, is what I was trying to say, sorry. Red linen, purple linen. Why did I call that red? I don't know where that came from. Purple linen on next. Burnish that down. Make sure that glue is all spread around. And then the one that I finished, and I've put foam tape onto the back. There we go. And remember, if you're at all unsure, remember, because once foam tape touches, it sticks. Just put a little bit. This isn't because I don't trust the foam tape. The foam tape will stick for a long time. It just means that I can move things around so that when I put that on to there, you can see that. Which one do you prefer? Oh, I can't pick. That's not fair if I pick. I hope you like them both. There we go. One background. You can see one solid background, and we've made 2 very different cards. I like them both. They're very different, aren't they? But they've both got the same background, mats and layers, the gold and the purple. Different stamps, but both stamped in the gold stroke bronze ink with the what was this? It's enchanted gold embossing powder, and then some gems that I've just coloured up to match. I'm loving them both. I hope you like those, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Corrine Crafts. Keep those subscribers coming. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to click any links. I'm going to be looking for a new gold ink pad, so I'll make sure I link that one down there as well, and anything else I can find, and these gems which I did buy just the other day, so I can link to those too. So I hope you enjoyed that, and please come back for the next tutorial. Bye for now.